For more tutorials, make sure you subscribe and hit on the notification icon so you get notified when I release new videos. Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we will learn how to fill Datagridview with data from our database. So get into your toolbox and create a Datagridview and dump it in the form. Okay, so let's expand it a little bit. And if you've been following my tutorial, you realize we're using this database using MySQL. You can actually connect your system with any database of your choosing. So how do we get our database values into our Datagridview? You can add a button and let's give a button a name for easy referencing. It's a btn load data with no space, please. Okay, and the text should be load. Okay, now we're having this. Double click on it and let's declare our connection string. Now connection string is like it's a string, or we provide the parameters to connect to our database, and we call it con string, and we set it equal to our connection string, and first it takes the server. Which server do you want to connect to? Our server is installed onto our local PC, so we say localhost, then we terminate. Then the user we say root. If then the password we say pwd, the password to our database. You need to provide all these credentials in order to connect to your database successfully. Then the password, my password is Slime. So provide your very own password used when you were installing your database, which is either SAMP or MySQL Workbench. And once again, if you are not familiar with MySQL, consider watching my tutorials on MySQL to give you more understanding and knowledge on MySQL. Then the database you do want to connect to, so I'll say database, and that database is doctor. So your database on your PC, the very database you want to connect to, provide its name here. Mine is doctor_details. Okay, we are good to go. Then so this is our connection string. Then let's declare another string to get our data for us, and we will call it query, and we set it equal to say just a simple query. Select star means select all from the table in your database. So my table is also the same as my database name. My table is the same as my database name, which is doctors_details. It's a very simple query. Then let's initialize our connection. So we say MySQL connection, and we'll call it con is equal to new MySQL connection. Terminate. Then we need to set con excuse me, we need to set our connection string to our con we need to set our connection string to MySQL connection, which is con here. So we say con string. So in other words, what we've simply done here is assigned our connection string to MySQL connection in the variable name con. So now con is our connection. I hope you understand. Then we need to perform command in order to insert our data. In order to get our data, we say MySQL command and we give it a variable of cmd is equal to new MySQL command. Okay. And MySQL command takes two arguments, or it takes two variables. First, it takes the query. Second, then it takes the connection. So the query is query and con as our connection. Good. Now we need MySQL adapter. So we declare MySQL data adapter SDA. You can name your variables anything. Is equal to new MySQL data adapter. Then we say SDA dot select command, and we set it equal to our command, which is cmd. We're good to go. Then we need a data table. We need the table where in which we will data table get our data from. So data table, and we give it the name of db table, and it's equal to new data table. Okay. Then we need to fill our table with the we need to fill our data filter with table. So we say sda dot fill. We say db table. Okay. Then we need a binding source. Binding source. Binding source. And we say db source is equal to new binding source. Okay. Now we will set our binding source to the data source. So we say db source dot data source is equal to db table. Then you set our data grid view source to our binding source, because now our binding source is what is carrying our data. So we need to set it to our data grid view. So we say data grid view 1 dot data source is equal to db source. Good. Then we say sda dot update. And we say db table. Good. You can see there's no breaking. You can do that. It does make it very easy to read. Is there an error? Oh, okay. Something I was doing earlier on. Okay. But if you've been following my tutorial, realize anything we do, we put everything in try catch block. Now try catch block, basically what it does is it prevents our application from crashing in case there's any runtime error. So I'm gonna cut all the code and insert try catch block first before continuing. 2 and calibrate. Press enter, and here type catch. Then type MySQL exception. Yes, calibrate over there. Good. Then in case there's any exception, you say a message box dot show. You say ex dot message. Okay. I think that is it. Let's give it a try. And it takes a little time to connect. You can see we are connected. So if we click on this, it should give us all the data. Whoa, all the data is in. You can see all the data. So thanks you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like. In the next video, we will learn how to change the column headers of our Datagridview. You can see we have ID, doctor underscore name, which it is getting the names directly from our table. When you're building real world applications, you don't need to do this. You need to change the column headers. So in the next tutorial, we will learn how to change the column headers. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.